Shabbat Shalom and welcome to Thought for Shabbat. Today we concluded the holiday of, you know what it is, Hanukkah. Some children think it's the High Holy Day, but it's just a day, a series of days that celebrates religious freedom. What does it mean to be religiously free? I believe it means to practice your religion as you so choose, so long as it doesn't adversely affect anybody else celebrating their religion. And the conflict, of course, in the story of Hanukkah is that the Assyrians, the Greek influencers, wanted the Jews and the Maccabees to become more Greek. They said, we don't want to be more Greek, we want to be Jewish. You do you, and I'll do me. And let's let it be. Of course, it ended with the destruction of the temple and then it being rebuilt and the miracle of the light. So too for us, I think, as Jewish people, we struggle with what it means to be religiously free. We are free to practice our religion as we so desire here in America, and that's a blessing, and in Israel is a blessing. And yet, that freedom is at times begrudged us. That in the world of the current moment, the anti-Semitism that surrounds Jews being able to celebrate their faith as they so desire makes celebrating your faith feel less free because it feels threatening. It feels scary. It feels in a way that we actually are not welcome to practice our faith because for whatever reasons, there are people who don't like us. And so as I think about freedom, religiously and otherwise, take the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. With freedom must come responsibility. In other words, to use your speech ethically and morally, even though you have the right to say whatever you want, without fear of punishment, with some very few exceptions, doesn't actually mean you should say it. We're held to a higher standard. We must be, as human beings, held to a higher standard because that's what differentiates us from the animal kingdom, is that we have the ability to use our thoughts and to use our intelligence to make better choices than just instinctual choices, even though we are driven by our instincts in many ways. I think about this a lot in terms of the public discourse on college campuses, in city council meetings, where people use their words, which they are free to do. That doesn't mean they don't hurt and that they aren't piercing, but they do feel inhumane. So freedom, there needs to be an addendum to, whether it's religious freedom or freedom of speech, and that is to use that freedom with a sense of responsibility, a sense of humanity, and a knowledge between right and wrong. And that, I don't mean to suggest you shouldn't disagree and disagree vehemently with people with whom you have differences, but there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it that upholds the humanity of each person involved in those discussions and in those arguments. I pray and hope the next Hanukkah will be one where we not only celebrate religious freedom from 2,000 years ago, but more religious freedom right here in this country. As we light the candles, let us think about bringing light to the world in terms of using our responsibility in conjunction with our freedom. Amen. Please join us tonight at 7 p.m. as we celebrate Shabbat with one another. Looking forward to being with all of you. Have a great weekend. Shabbat Shalom. Be well. Stay safe.